what is equivalent to diarrhea if you get the wrong type, or
Oh, really?
but I take it with another supplement, malic acid, which lets my body absorb the magnesium instead of shove it out. And so there are various things you can do. I've got this all on my website, alttherapiesforbipolar.info. That's alt-therapies, the number 4, bipolar.info.
Alternative.
And I've gotten quite a bit of positive attention. I am a member and hopeful organizer of Mind Freedom International. So this is one of my issues, obviously, because I've overcome. You said yourself last week how much better I was than years ago.
Yeah. I've known you. How many years have I known you?
98.
I was going to say close to 10 years.
Close to 10 years.
Close to 10 years. So we're looking at probably 8 or 9 years anyway.
Well, close to 10.
Close to 10.
I crashed my car here in February.
Here you go. See how you like your voice.
I think I'd rather not listen to it.
Okay.
When I took them off, I couldn't hear all of a sudden. My ears had to readjust. No, I crashed my car here in February of '98, and I was singing at Bean Streets no later than April. And you met me pretty early on at Bean Streets.
Yeah.
Anyone
I don't
here
know if it
remember
was
Bean
your
Streets?
first time at Bean Streets or not, but it was one. I believe one of your first times at Bean Streets, right? And that was very important. I thought, a lot of important things, a lot of important associations, concepts, places. What can I say? Were happening around in Asheville back in those days, and I really feel that the best days of Asheville have probably come and gone. I'm going to go see if I can find us some cream for the cream pitcher, and this thing hopefully will start whistling any moment.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, the Bean Streets open mic is still going on, although it's now the Courtyard open mic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's at the Courtyard Gallery, which is in...
And all you need is a ride home.
All I need is a ride home, but I can't do it this week. I've already been out too much.
I think I mentioned that I tend to be very busy, and I might put you off a lot, but I think I mentioned that you could give me a buzz and see, and from time to time I might be able to, but you'll have to hassle me and not get mad at me if I don't.
And I tend not to hassle my friends,
Well, you're being invited to hassle me.
Except that you have to commit before he shows up, before the last bus.
I know. Oh no, he needs to do it before we get there. It's going to be a ride both ways, actually. But what we need to do, it's going to be cold now. That's what I'm thinking.
The Courtyard Gallery is outside, right?
No.
Oh, it's inside.
It's inside. It does. The back end of the gallery opens to the outdoors through a cage. The
Right.
Lexington Park area in between all those
Right.
restaurants and
But that means if
buildings.
it's cold out, it's cold in.
No, you can close the door. He
Oh.
usually has it
Okay.
closed. It's better acoustics. He does record it and podcast it. He basically records it, then edits it down to somewhere around an hour.
I was wondering, does it affect your fingers if it's cold?
Yeah. Especially since I don't practice much. Well, it's better than it was, anyhow. That's going to start whistling any second. I can see the steam coming out. I'm going to let it have the first musical note here. Come on, little teapot. You can do it. Or you could just rescue it now since it is steaming and pour it into the pot.
This pot?
I don't know which pot he's doing next, but...
Well, since I don't know...
Is there anything in that pot?
Yeah, it's about a quarter. A little less, a fifth.
Well, then maybe he's already done that one and is waiting for this one. Well, I'll just fake it.
This one's completely empty.
That's steeped, and that one, it looks like it's a quarter full. I don't think he's used it yet. I think he was waiting for the water, which is just now coming up.
This is ready?
I don't think that one's even been started.
This is the only one I know it's done.
But I think he's ready to put that water in there. I'm sure this is exciting television. We're waiting for someone to pour water into a pot.
Trying to decide. Well, oh well.
To be honest with you, I can't hear. Was it tweeting? Good. Did it tweet loudly?
Not loudly.
It was just about to, though.
Okay. Yeah, do that and then put it back on for a minute. I want to hear it tweet loudly. That's what I've recently. That should do. What do you think? Yeah. Sit it down. Let's see if it'll tweet for me. Well, listen to it. I don't think it's going to tweet very loudly, do you?
It's getting there. How do you like these little tea bags? Is that what you're making there?
Right there, uh-huh. Yes.
I've enjoyed mine. She gave me a pack too.
Oh, yeah, is that what's in the cabinet in there?
Yeah.
Okay, because when I ran out, I was going to grab it.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, that's good. That's not very loud, but it's very polite, isn't it?
Well, if we have kind of a dead time, I have a theory as to how the partisan elections happened.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, and I'll name names, but considering it's just a hypothesis,
Yes.
you can even name names. My guess is that this is how it happened. That Brownie Newman is a longtime environmental advocate on the state level.
Mm-hmm.
So he was dealing with some state Democratic insiders, trying to get something like this clean smoke, trying to get something that's probably good, or at least progressive. It's like the Clean Smokestacks Act.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went up against Democratic, or he had to deal with Democratic insiders like Bass Knight or Jim Black or maybe his replacement, but the Democratic establishment in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And the Democratic establishment in Raleigh wanted partisan elections.
Mm-hmm.
So my hypothesis is they made some kind of deal that we give you clean smokestack if you give us partisan elections.
Mm.
And then Newman, I guess, took the deal, probably took the deal. I hypothesize that he took the deal. Then he turned around and, to Cape and Freeborn and the others and had to make some sort of deal with them where influence for partisan elections in order to actually get it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the question is, what's the motivator? What inspired these good people to suddenly turn and demand partisan elections? I think it was some kind of deal to get something else that was better than partisan elections. That's at least.
It may go.
I have some information that leads me to that hypothesis.
I don't care. We don't have it.
And then we went to the people and we trounced it anyway. And Brownie probably got his deal, what he traded for it, anyway. So,
Maybe
all for the
not.
best,
Maybe not.
well.
I think on those deals you got to guarantee performance.
And he just about did. They
No, I don't
tried to
think
shove
so.
it through city council without anyone talking about it.
Right.
I don't think you do have to guarantee performance. I mean, he can't go to whoever into his back rooms and say he didn't try. The guy can't say he didn't try.
Oh, no.
And hopefully that's all he promised.
Right.
So
Well, if it had been brought
Well,
up,
so hopefully we got it both ways.
if it had been brought up as an open topic in the first place, there would have been more of a chance of it passing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that they were
The
trying
the
to
timing was bad
get
and the
one
technique
over on
was
us,
bad.
yeah.
The way they went about it was bad, and the timing was bad.
Right.
And
Because of the backroom deals, but I'm going to hypothesize that there was another backroom deal and that he got something, and that he got or tried to get something better with it.
well, I
He
always-
traded partisan elections for something else, and that something else was something better.
I always agree that there's probably always some other backroom deal.
Yeah, I don't like backroom deals, but
they don't seem
sometimes the
to run out
backroom
of those.
deals, sometimes they get good things with them.
I don't mind smoking
But we don't.
rooms
The
when they give
problem
me a
is we don't
cigar
know what the
too.
good thing is. We don't know what the good thing is that he got with it. He's gotten some good things out of the state establishment, but we don't. The public doesn't know where they are, and so it's kind of hard to credit him.
Well, speaking of politics, I've sung this once before on your show, John. This is a 1966 song by Malvina Reynolds, who is perhaps our nation's second black folk singer, the first being Odetta.
And pass that to me when you finish with it, if you would. And I'm sorry I gave you a chipped cup. I've been trying to get rid of that. Odetta,
That doesn't bother me.
This
I
one
mean,
is
look at my
Malvina Reynolds.
clothes.
Come sit down beside me before the big TV and watch the pretty pictures they have there to look at. Shampoo for your hair and the last polar bear and the man on the moon who's walking around, then keeps leaving junk on the once virgin ground. There's old-timey movies with old-fashioned dresses and gentle caresses and other such messes. There's football and baseball and guys selling cars. And then there's the man in the mask. They say it's his face, but I just can't believe it. It looks like a mask that I saw in the store. It talks with deep feeling about ending the war and stopping inflation, and it's so fantastic you'll cry while you're laughing and roll on the floor. Every 4 years he puts a new mask on, and each one is worse than the one he had before, but the words are the same, and the same earnest manner about stopping inflation and ending the war. His sponsors paid out $1 million of millions to put him up there with his magic routine, but they got quite a bargain, 'cause there's a big profit margin in war and inflation and the big TV screen that brings us the man in the mask. They say it's his face, but I just can't believe it. It looks like a mask that I saw in the store. It talks with deep feeling about ending the war and stopping inflation, and it's so fantastic you'll cry while you're laughing and roll on the floor.
I never thought about that. I've seen one of those masks. I've seen one of those masks. I bet you have too, haven't you?
I probably have one in my closet somewhere.
Really?
This is my song. This is the
Yeah.
song for me, huh?
This is by the Arrogant Worms, a Canadian singing group.
The what?
The Arrogant Worms.
Arrogant Worms.
Fat and docile, big and dumb. They look so stupid, they aren't much fun. Cows aren't fun. They eat to grow, grow to die, die to be at the hamburger fry. Cows well done. Nobody thunk it, nobody knew, no one imagined the great cow guru. Read books with great zeal. He loved Che Guevara, revolutionary veal. Cows and tongue. He spoke about justice, but nobody stirred. He felt like an outcast, alone in the herd. Cow dual drums. He mooed, "We must fight, escape or we'll die." Cows gathered round, 'cause the stakes were so high. Then he was captured, stuffed into a crate, loaded into a truck where he rode to his fate. Cows are bummed. He was a scrawny calf who looked rather woozy. No one suspected he was packing an Uzi. Cows came with a needle to stick in his thigh. He kicked for the groin, he pissed in their eye. Cow well hung. Knocked over a tractor and ran for the door. 6 gallons of gas flowed out onto the floor. Run, cows, run. He picked up a bullhorn and jumped up on the hay. We are free-roving bovines. We run free today. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our large heads high. Run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. They crashed the gate in a great stampede, tipped over a milk truck, torched all the feed. Cows have fun. 60 police cars were piled in a heap, covered in cow pies, covered up deep. Much cow dung. Black smoke rising, darkening the day. 12 burning Burger Kings. Have it your way. Fight for bovine freedom and hold our large heads high. Run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. The president said, "Enough is enough. These uppity cattle, it's time to get tough." Cow dung flung. The newspapers gloated. Folks sighed with relief. Tomorrow at noon, they would all be ground beef. Cows on buns. The cows were surrounded. They waited and prayed. They mooed their last moves. They chewed their last hay. The order was given to turn cows to whoppers, enforced by the might of 10,000 coppers. But on the horizon, surrounding the shoppers, came the deafening roar of chickens in choppers. We will fight for bovine freedom and the whole with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns.
Now, did you write the lyrics to that one?
Nope, Arrogant Worms.
Okay. Arrogant Worms.
Arrogant Worms.
Okay. And I meant to ask, are you a vegetarian?
Actually, no, but I work at it.
You do?
I am allergic to every known vegetable form of protein.
Oh, that makes it handy.
And so if I'm going to get protein, I've got to eat meat. But I have made the conscious decision to avoid, without beating myself up when I fall off the cow wagon, to avoid eating mammals.
Mammals, okay.
So
fish then is...
I eat fish, I eat birds.
I see. Look at that.
I saw that. I wondered if I was doing that.
I don't think so. All of the signals that I see here look perfect.
Well,
and
it's been fine, and then just did that a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if it did it on that screen too.
These all looks good. All of my screens here looks good. So the signal.
Well, you keep asking if I wrote something. This is a traditional tune, although not so traditional that most people have heard it.
Oh yeah.
I actually raise beef cow. That's what I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
Boy, I had trouble hitting that low note tonight. I usually hit that nice.
I was gonna say we should have had this microphone over like this, so that when you got ready for that, you could just lean into this. Cows with guns.
Well, I usually have more voice down there than I have right now.
Or let's see, that would be cows with guns. Yes.
Okay, I guess that's the key. No wonder that butter's $2 a pound. I've seen the rich politicians, how they drive up and down. And when you ask them the reason, they cry, oh alas, there's a war on in Bosnia, so we had to tax gas. Saying honesty's all out of fashion. These are the rigs of the time, me boys. These are the rigs of the time. 'Tis of the executive, I must bring him in. Turns his wages to gold while he hands workers tin. He complains there's no cash to keep running the shop. Then we find that he's paid more than the company dropped. Saying honesty's all out of fashion. These are the rigs of the time, my boys. These are the rigs of the time. And next come reporters, we must bring them in. They write almost nothing and think it's no sin. A quick line on the war in Iraq, that's absurd. But of Georgia and Ireland, there's nary a word. Saying honesty's all out of fashion. These are the rigs of the time, my boys. These are the rigs of the time. Now the very best plan that would solve this whole scuttle is to pack them all in to a faulty space shuttle. And when they got up to where Challenger stood, these biggest of rascals would flame out for good. Saying honesty's all out of fashion. These are the rigs of the time, my boys. These are the rigs of the time. A little bloodthirsty, but you wanted something I wrote. That's the only one I brought.
What-
Good.
We have wonderful music today.
You do. Indeed.
Well, my voice isn't quite here, but I'm doing my best.
Have you been here when Moss was singing before?
I don't think so.
Okay. He's good, isn't
He's pretty good. My
This-
other brother was a folk singer
he? Right?
in Wales. Goes to Ireland and Cornwall and
What is his name?
Chris.
Chris. Okay. Have we all heard of Chris?
Have we all heard of him?
Does he have CDs?
Oh, yeah, he does have a CD.
Has he given you one? Do you have one?
Yes, not on me, but I do have one.
Someday, bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's good.
Well, we've got the.
Well, I'm largely Welsh blood myself. There's
I
a
don't know.
huge chunk of Scots in there, a little bit of German, and there's word that there's some Cherokee in my blood, but I have actually done the genealogy and found out that there may be some Native American in my blood, but it's at least a generation farther back than they think, than my family thinks. But it's definitely not Cherokee.
Oh.
You don't get born in Simcoe, Ontario, Canada as a Cherokee in the 1800s. Yeah. Maybe a Mohawk, so, one of the Iroquois nations, something up there. Yeah, but I doubt if there were any Cherokee in Ontario at the time.
What's that? A Ojibwe, wasn't it?
Various Iroquois nations are up that way, but let's see.
Wait, there's a big head behind this.
Yeah, hey, he thinks I've got too big a head, so he wanted
It's
to
the
double
giant
it.
head. Do you remember, what was that show?
The giant head. I don't remember that
It
show.
was-
The giant
No,
head.
it wasn't the name of the show. It was Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, I heard that one once.
Giant head.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting how this show is like the psychedelic. The Tea Party was psychedelic inserts.
Yeah,
Like a
I
talk show.
was walking on Tuesday. A friend of mine was going to buy me a belated birthday lunch, and I'm walking through the lawn across the Presbyterian Church. They've got a preschool there, and there's one little girl out with some adult watching her out on the edge of the lawn, and I was in the middle of the lawn. It was a big lawn, and the girl goes, "Hi, old man."
Yeah.
I didn't strangle her. I really didn't. I just waved and kept
Just
walking.
knocked her a little bit.
Hi, old man.
It really makes you feel. I mean, it was my 55th birthday, so I was feeling bad enough already. Yeah. But this one's appropriate to that. This is another Stan Rogers song. One that didn't get on the main albums that he recorded. It was released later from a live performance. I can almost hear some of you say you think he'd have more sense at his age. Crazy old man in the old tam o' shanters getting carried away. Sometimes it's almost too much to stand, but it's not my place to take you in hand. It used to be a man and his madness were as sacred as the coming of day. It's strange how things will stick in the mind. You'd think the years would leave them behind. Long ago moments as a winter kind of push the recent memories aside. Symptomatic, you say, of old age, but it's something that nobody can gauge. It may be that I've sorted out the memories I can keep and thrown the others away. Some who would say just let him sit and decay, but I really can't believe that it's true. There's bits of yourself you always have to live up to, if only for a moment or two. There's a little time to spend sitting down, feeling good means moving around. And I can't be blamed if I remember my name and why it made me so proud. Some who would say just let it sit and decay, but I really can't believe that it's true. There's bits of yourself you always have to live up to, if only for a moment or two. At my age, I do as I choose, and I shouldn't need to make an excuse. I know that you all feel a little famous inside, and I'm no different from you. Famous inside, and I'm no different from you. Never know if I'm going to hit that whistle or not.
Well, I've noticed something. Talk about old age. I can't whistle like I used to.
You can't whistle. I never was a good whistler.
Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that?
I can't do
do
that.
that
Never
either.
could do
I always
that.
wanted to.
No, I never could either.
They do that in New York.
Well, I used to do the tongue whistle. I can do that.
I like that.
But I never was a good whistler. Some people seem to think I am, but
What are
I've
you
known
doing?
good whistlers.
I used to be able to
Play
whistle
in
quite
this
loudly,
alarm
but it was still a normal
so that I
whistle.
won't forget to do the 420 roll.
Alright.
And
This is caffeinated, right?
I think so.
about that.
I'm gonna go for a little bit more.
We have interference.
Wish there were two of me. I'd get a lot more done.
Oh, he's connected with aliens. You just connected. What did he see? Can anyone speak?
I heard a bit of a flutter. They wasn't just
Okay.
static.
Now I have to figure out. Hour is 5.
But I have no way of knowing if it's a terrestrial flutter or an
Oh,
alien
my.
flutter.
Oh, what, buddy?
You're ringing, John.
I am. Randini.
Hey,
Okay, Did you
Randini.
hear our aliens?
No, that alien sounds
Oh, yeah?
suspiciously like a guitar.
Yeah, did you tell them that we practiced this ahead of time? And so that you know what I'm gonna say next. And the only way we could really show them for sure that it was live would be if you would tell us what are the names of the people that you're trying to prove this to. George and Alfred. Okay.
Why
All
is it my
right.
head, John?
Good deal.
Put someone else's head up there.
Okay. That's okay. We're communicating with aliens. Okay. All right.
Cat wolf by
He wants to hear it whistle.
Oh, no. I told him no Christmas songs, and he already sang one. Yeah.
Well, but it wasn't a typical
Okay.
Christmas song.
Here Comes Santa Claus or Old Lang Syne have both been.
Well, Old Lang Syne is not a Christmas song. It's a New Year's song.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Christmas. No Christmas song. So, okay. Bye-bye. Ah, listen.
That was the great Randini.
That was the great Randini. The great and powerful. Yes, Randini. Right. Who is trying to convince somebody that we are actually live.
Let's see here. Check my pulse. I think, yeah, I'm live.
No, on TV, you know what I'm
That. Well,
You're being
I'm
silly.
twice live, John. I wish you'd get someone else's head up there. That's
I
disturbing.
know it. Well, I'm working on it, but I can't do everything. Can I?
You can't pull.
Yes, you
and
can.
switch.
Usually
can't
half
pull-
off the screen if you can.
I can't pour tea. There. Now, would you slide that up onto the tray somewhere, or?
You can do everything. You're limiting yourself by telling yourself you
Okay,
can't.
I'm limiting myself. Here we go. Yes, we go. Yes.
Heavy.
And could someone? This is very hot. So could this be passed up to the book?
Yeah, need to put it on the
You just
CRC.
turn it around and I can take it.
Okay. Yeah. One of those jungle ones.
Put it up on the CRC handbook.
Yeah, the underwater flowers are
Mhm.
fascinating.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks yummy. Pour me some, would you please?
Yeah, I think I could use some myself.
Oh, did I go? Did I? mess
Look at
up?
that. Look at that. I did. I got it
Only
pretty. I got it pretty
two.
dark, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it oversteeped or not? You
No,
did
no,
not.
it can never be oversteeped.
You can't
for me.
oversteep
Not
it.
for me.
It's typical.
Yeah. Well, like, it's not Lipton.
Yeah. Well, if it ever appears to be a little oversteeped, if you'll pour a little bit of that jasmine in there, you'll be surprised. It just like lightens it right up.
I
It's
am.
just lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely thing. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I have to figure out how to work this. I have to figure out how to set this clock.
Well, let's see.
Alarm.
I can set it, John.
Time. Okay, time.
You have to hold
Now it's
time.
blinking.
You have to hold
Now
time
hour.
down while you change the
I'll
hour.
have to
Hold
hold
time.
it. Okay. And I have to change it to 5.
Five.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So
19.
19. Okay.
Now, do the listeners out there care about how to set a clock?
Let's see. 18, 19. I'm
This
gonna let
is
it be
real
clean.
life.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a skill
Yes.
that everyone needs to know if they have an alarm
How
clock.
to set your digital
Okay.
alarm.
If they have a digital alarm clock,
Absolutely.
yes.
Now
Absolutely.
alarm.
Alarm. So hit
Oh,
alarm.
VCR
Okay,
lessons.
alarm.
And then hit the hour button.
Hour. For
Making
4.
sure you're on PM and not
4.
AM. You want to go on PM.
And make sure that the time is on PM also. Or
Oh,
Okay.
you're
matter.
on AM.
On auto. PM. Okay. AM. Okay. I want PM.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
unless you haven't set the time on the clock to PM
I
yet.
didn't.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
The top one is PM.
Now, and minute is gonna be. I'm gonna do 19.
It's 29.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to time, and it is PM, so I need to do hour till it's 5 PM, right? There.
And if you
Alright.
push the alarm button without pushing any time buttons, you can see for sure that you've got it set right.
4:19. Which one that needs to go off in
That's-
order for me? And
yeah.
I've got 5:21 right now, according to the atomic clock.
According to the atomic clock.
So we'll see.
Are we getting irradiated?
Okay, now that wait, I have alarm. Somehow I'm supposed to be able to be the alarm.
Didn't mean to kick you. I gotta check on mine.
It says alarm auto off and on. On is radio. Off is off. Auto, who knows?
Auto means that instead of the alarm coming on, the radio comes on.
Oh, good. Then I want the alarm to go off. I want it to. And I don't
And
know
you
what
want
the
it on
alarm's
alarm.
going to sound like. I hope it's like.
It's going to sound like beep, 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 beep. It's-
Now for another sponsor break or something?
Yeah, it's tomorrow's actually for the 420 roll.
Tomorrow is 420, yeah.
Right. It's just, and I'm going to try to do a 420 roll every day.
Well, here's a little energy saving thing. I noticed that it was 72.7 degrees in here,
Yes.
and it's 71 out in the hall.
Uh-huh.
And if I don't know to what extent URTV tries to be environmentally active,
Very much.
but my position is that
Uh-huh.
they could easily turn the heat down to 65.
My position is it would be
65
too
hours.
cold on my fingers to play guitar at 65.
65 is too cold.
In an indoor environment, yeah.
If you would like to turn, there's a little fan on here. If you would
Yeah.
like to make it so it blows the air from outside in here so that the in here will go out.
Well, it's not really a matter of my comfort. It's a matter, except I can take my sweatshirt off. I'm wearing like 6 layers. But you see, I just think
He's a cake.
I like to be in the habit
He's
of
a what?
doing that.
Cake.
He's a king.
Yeah, I like to be in the habit of wearing a bunch of layers, and so and it saves energy. And I keep my house at 40, in the 40s. So.
That's pretty.
But then
that's
again, I
pretty
don't.
cool.
I
Do
don't
you
play
have-
guitar there.
Do you have a wood?
you have a
do you have a
legitimate
wood
problem
stove?
No.
Oh.
I have a unvented. I
unvented
usually
gas
with
heater?
unvented propane. Yeah.
I love a wood stove.
Yeah.
I really do. I love a wood stove, and in this area of the country, they're really practical. Let me see. Should I change the background? And I like it. I like steam heat, and I like a brick house and stuff like that. But it's nice to have steam heat or whatever, a gas furnace or whatever it is that you're up against. And it's nice to have that, and keep it turned way down and heat with your wood stove.
I grew up having coal fires.
Yeah.
Coal and
Yeah.
and wood. Because coal's not that great anymore. But
That's true. That's true.
I did notice I was in another
It's warm,
trailer.
It is. I know it is.
Really?
It will puts out some. It will bake. You can sit by the coal fire, my opinion is it has low frequency, long wavelength heat that comes out and penetrates you and warms you better
yeah.
than.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the dry heat too. My propane slightly wet heat.
I'm getting tired of feeling like Zaphod Bibelbrox.
How's that?
Can we get rid of the second head? It's
Oh.
a little disconcerting.
Oh yeah. I was.
You can put mine up there if you want.
No, I was about to.
I'm just egotistical enough to.
Does that make you feel better?
That makes me feel better.
Okay.
That's
And
the atomic symbol there.
yes, indeed. I'll put up some wild psychedelic patterns. How's that?
I'm not sure if that was very helpful or not.
You're supposed to say, "Oh, that'll be fine."
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that will be
Sorry,
fine, John.
Okay.
I'm just
Thank
enjoying
you.
the tea.
Now you're.
You know what really should have gotten a wood stove and didn't got a gas, this really long gas thing was the ACRC. They were a perfect candidate for a wood stove because nobody sleeps there. So everybody could, you could show up and tend the wood stove.
Well, they don't even have a place now, so.
Yeah, they were evicted, but they spent a lot of their money. They spent all their
No,
money
they
on
were
this
not
gas.
evicted. I've got inside information on that, but it would probably be
Libelous?
not.
Libelous.
Wouldn't be libelous, but I
Maybe
am
a little libelous?
reasonably
Just a
certain.
little.
I am reasonably certain that the landowner of that property is a contributor to URTV, so I'd best not say anything.
Well,
just
whatever
said
it was, they spent a good bit of money on a really long gas heater that was so long. It was both expensive and so long that it couldn't hardly fit anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mistake. They should have got a wood
I
stove.
thought
and
that
stuck
I
it in
was
the
just to say, right? You should heat people, not the room.
Yeah.
Our other rooms where you're not using at that particular time. You know what I mean? And that's where a fireplace comes in handy. Cause
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I always
Bring
thought
the place-
houses should have semi-heated storage. They're like enclosed storerooms that you put all your junk in. but you don't have to heat it up.
Yeah.
It's almost like a garage or a storage attic or something, but a level storage room where you can get your stuff. And anytime it's, pleasant conditions outside, you can go in there and do whatever. You can expand your house, almost like enclosed porches and stuff.
Houses in this country, though, very, very warm inside.
Houses
Here.
are warm,
Yeah, I mean, in general.
warmer than in Wells.
Too warm. I mean, and
Oh.
hopefully so, I think. Houses and stores. And,
Yeah, I agree.
You
It's
know,
it's
I
hard to
mean-
dress. You have to keep peeling off your long johns.
and it's, I don't know, it's like,
It is true. I'll tell you though, I used to be terribly afraid of the cold. I really hated the cold. I responded very poorly to cold weather, and I feared when it would get to be wintertime, I would just fear it coming on, like the first cold blasts that came.
I love it.
Came as a fear to me, and then after I had a couple of heart attacks and stuff, and they've given me medicines that help my blood flow, and you know what? I don't mind the cold so much anymore, and I like and I think, well, my blood, maybe it's because my blood is flowing better. Is what I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it, and when it comes, it's exhilarating and stuff. I used to hear, people would go, "Oh, I love the fall weather and the cold," and I'm like, ugh. But now it's great.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to do heavy work. It's easier to dig a ditch or something if it's cold.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, if I'm working or walking or whatnot, 50 degrees is fine outside.
Oh, yeah.
But in the house, for some reason, it feels much colder because you're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Also, I found when you get older, or when I was getting, oh, please do come in.
Some
What have you
food
got?
just walk in the door.
Cookies or something. Brownies. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
actually, I can't
I'm
take
gonna
cold
stay.
water. I'm not. My body is not cold tolerant at
Chair.
all.
We need a chair.
We have chairs.
Can you give her a chair over there, and can you slide your whole apparatus this way so
I
that she
can
fits
slide a
in?
few things
Right.
somewhere.
Oh, the color's great
Yeah.
Huh?
today.
You like that? That was the first background I made for